What is good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one I'm going to be talking about the one and only Tesla stock, which you should be looking after for the future. I'm also going to do some in-depth technical analysis and give you guys my price prediction for tomorrow based off what the charts are showing and based off what the data is showing us. I'm also going to break down what's going on with the overall market and how this may affect Tesla as well, and also some big pieces of news affecting Tesla and China as well, which are very important for you to know as the year goes on. I'm also going to end the video with some big tweets that came out from Tesla itself that make me very bullish for the long-term future. Now, before I break anything down, before I get into any details, I do have to mention a couple of things before starting real quick. Firstly, I'm not a financial planner. Don't take any of this as financial advice whatsoever. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire Tesla community as a whole. And the last things, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull, the link down below, and deposit any amount of money into the account, you're guaranteed 12 free stocks, each worth up to $2,000. And you could always sell these 12 free stocks for cash and use the cash to buy some Tesla shares for free. It's a limited time offer. The offer ends in just one day, so please check it out before they run out. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So Tesla was down 2.5% for the day. It closed very close to what my target was. I did predict a close very close to that 280 range. We ended up closing at 277. We are a little bit green in the after hours, and we can see Tesla did closely follow SPY today. If you look at the price actions, you can see SPY did come down. It actually formed kind of like an inverse head and shoulders like formation right here, and I do think SPY is going to get a bit of a bounce for tomorrow just temporarily, because if we are set for more potential downside, which I really believe we are in the upcoming weeks, we still should make a bit of a bounce move like this, a temporary relief move, and also we need to make that lower high if we were to truly confirm the downtrend. Now, it is possible for the market to just continue to drop really hard tomorrow as well, but I still think that we are very oversold if you look at the way SPY is moving. So some relief kind of like this right here is very, very normal, very possible, and I do think SPY is going to do that very soon. So I'm going to show you guys how this could affect Tesla as well, but first we have to look at this real quick. Right now, the market is not completely fearful just yet. We were very fearful, but we actually got a nice bounce near the end of the day. We got a slight rally as volume did pick up. I like the volume we started to see, so that's why the market is still kind of neutral for now. But I do think that more fear is still set to come for the future. Now, as far as Tesla goes, we're still seeing that correlation between Tesla and SPY right here. Both of them are starting to come down in a similar manner. But you can see right here, we are seeing different nuances here in the way Tesla is moving, as we are seeing it becoming a little bit more price sensitive. So this is actually a sign that even though Tesla is becoming a lot more stable than before, we could still see very high volatility as the days go on and as we start to see algos adjust to the new price of Tesla. So what's going on with SPY? Just real quick, like I mentioned just briefly, we look at a bigger time frame, I think I would use this right here. So we obviously got that breakdown, which is actually pretty funny from this rising wedge. In the short term, I think I need to use the 5-minute chart for this. We could see the SPY did push down like this. It is respecting a downtrend, but we have this inverse head and shoulders like formation right here. It's not perfect. We can see we have the left shoulder right here, we have the head right here, and the right one right here. So I do think we're going to get a bit of a push to the upside tomorrow just temporarily, but after that, I still see more potential for downside a little bit later. Now, what does this mean for Tesla? I'm anticipating a bit of a push to the upside as well for Tesla, followed by a rejection and maybe somewhat of a bleed as the day goes on, but I still think we could get that green close, so to speak. So the very important thing to remember going into tomorrow is I wouldn't be surprised if Tesla moved kind of like this. So as you guys know, when we open, historically, we tend to get slight pushes to the upside. So like right here, we could see Tesla was like in the 284 range. We pushed up a bit to about 288. Then we got a big drop after that as the whole market took a hit. So for Tesla, I do anticipate some similar price action, except it's not going to be as bearish for tomorrow, in my opinion. I think tomorrow Tesla's going to get a nice push into open, and we're going to test the $280 level of resistance. And I believe Tesla is going to actually break past that temporarily. We might actually push up a little bit hard. Maybe the SPY is going to push up just a bit. I wouldn't be surprised if we actually touch 280, 284 like that. Then we get a rejection off that. And as the day goes on, as volume picks up, I think Tesla is going to come back down to that 280 range, kind of like this. bounce off that, so maybe close pretty flat from there, a little bit in the green. I wouldn't be surprised if we're like 1% green. And I do anticipate a close around that 280 range. Now, I do feel this way based off the formation on SPY and also this nice bounce that we got off that 272 range. So that's essentially what I'm seeing for now. And just to go over the ranges in case I am wrong and the market does end up dropping even more, please remember that if Tesla pushes up, we have resistance at 280, then 284, and then $291 a share if we do push to the upside. If we come down, right, again, 272 to 270 is a very, very key zone. And if we actually break below that, then I'm going to be watching for 265, followed by that 259 gap fill. So there is a gap right over here around 259 that could get filled as well if we continue to tank below 270. So that's what I'm really going to be looking out for if we do end up getting more and more blood. But if you look at Tesla right now, this thing is very oversold. We've been dropping very hard over the last couple of days, just as I had predicted. I was talking about this previously. So some relief is completely normal, and I would like to see that it's completely fine before we do see any more potential downside after that. Now, as far as other technicals go, let me actually hide some drawings for you. Let's start off with the 5-minute. Let's look at the RSI, the overall volume, and our EMAs, and also our MACD. I like to use each and every one of these. On the 5-minute, we're noticing something very interesting. So RSI is heavily correlated with the share price from right here. We tend to get very high volume in the very beginning of the day and the very end of the day, and the market tends to have that in common. And you can see right here on the 5-minute, we got a crossover from the MACD. We got that big drop I was talking about yesterday, but then we got a nice bounce of 272. And then right here, we got some bullish momentum that pushed us up into the close. So I do think we're going to get a bit of a continuation of that into open before we get a slight rejection, but still hold 280 and close somewhat in the green. So that's essentially what I'm seeing right over here. On the daily, this is where things become interesting. So looking at the daily, we could see right here, Tesla's overall volume is still not that good. It actually declined a bit. We did drop a little bit harder on higher volume, so I am hoping for somewhat of a bounce off that. But I can't really guarantee that based off what I said, which is why I went over both support and resistance levels on both sides. As far as RSI goes, it's slowly declining with the overall trend. But on the daily, it's not entirely oversold just yet. It does have more room to come down from here. So this essentially means that we are most likely going to come down a little bit lower as the weeks go on. But for the short term, which is just tomorrow, I still think we could have a little bit of relief because we're not red every single day. And if you look at the trend, what Tesla tends to do is we have this red day, a slight green day, followed by more red, then some green, a little bit of red after that, a little green, and when we have these big red days, we could actually get some relief after that, and that's why I am seeing some signs of that before more potential downside. And that's what the chart, in my honest opinion, is starting to show. On the daily, there is one thing that's getting closer, like I mentioned, that's also looking pretty bearish for the next couple of weeks. That's the fact that we're getting closer to that 1348 EMA crossover, and on the daily, we did actually fall below the 200 EMA before we actually pushed up, which is very close to where it is. So overall, what's happening is the 13 EMA is coming down faster than the 48 EMA. And when we get that crossover, that's going to be a very bearish signal, and Tesla could start to drop a little bit harder after that. So once again, I see that for the next couple of weeks, it looks more bearish than bullish. Just for tomorrow, I wouldn't be surprised if we get a little bit of relief from the markets. We are green in the after hours, and the SPY does have a pretty decent setup for some green as well. Now, as far as Tesla goes, there are some big things that are going to be affecting it as well. Right over here, we can see Tesla faces a class action lawsuit over the autopilot's phantom braking problem. So this is actually something that's very contentious. I don't want to go into too many details about it, but right over here, it could be argued that the phantom braking problem could lead to some accidents or things like that. So that's the reason why an individual actually came out and actually filed this lawsuit. Now, as a result, there are not any conclusions that can be made from this just yet. We'll have to wait and see how this really goes. But for now, if that truly is what is going on with the beta, just note that this is a beta, and Tesla does have a warning about it, and there are improvements being made every single day. But I want to just put it out there that if this does continue to happen, it's something Tesla should really improve on. I don't see this as something that's going to be like a bearish catalyst or anything like that. It really is just something that they should really, really work on for the future. I know it's very easy to say that, it's very hard in real life. So I still appreciate the work that they're doing. And things like this could really help them improve. That's the easiest way for me to put it. Now, there is something that concerns me about Tesla, guys. Not just Tesla, but the whole market. That's because of this right here. So the news has reported that China has more of these lockdowns due to the virus. And I actually mentioned this a couple of days ago as being a possibility. Now, this is on top of their economic effects when it comes to their economy, when it comes to the real estate market and banking and all these different things. But this is also going on. And so far, the market hasn't really looked at China as a big catalyst to really cause us to crash. So the market isn't really looking at that as being the big factor. But this could be something that ends up affecting us if it really does escalate. And I did mention this because I don't have a whole lot of historical data from China. We can already presume exactly why. But for the USA, for instance, we could see that when it comes to the virus, we tended to see these big spikes near the end of the year. We can see right over here, it happened in like 2020, 2021. It actually happened around the end of summer. It came down a bit, and it tended to actually increase like crazy in November, December, January, and so on from there. So we're getting very close to November, guys, and historically we do see the virus pick up during this time frame. So I'm not guaranteeing that this has to happen in China, but this is an indication that this could end up happening because winter is coming. With that said, if the lockdowns end up spreading to like Shanghai, I worry that this could lead to shutdowns for Tesla as well and many other EV companies as well. So I'm not guaranteeing it's happening yet. It hasn't affected them just yet, but it is something to keep in the back of your minds because this could be a bearish catalyst and it could actually end up affecting their numbers. And once again, it's not necessarily Tesla's fault. This is external. This is something that they can't control. So we can't really throw hands at Tesla or do anything like that if this does end up affecting their numbers. And some big banks like Deutsche Bank actually came out and did adjust their delivery targets for companies like NIO and Li Auto. So that could be another sign that the future is kind of, how should I say, kind of shaky from here. So not trying to cause FUD, guys. I'm very optimistic for the future, super bullish on Tesla. I see this thing going to many, many more hundreds of dollars a share over the next year to two. I also see this thing going to thousands again. Despite the split, I could still see this thing squeeze. But like I mentioned, there are big things going on in the world right now that are not in their control. There are also supply chain issues that are still actually going on. We're not completely out of the water when it comes to that. Tesla has really accounted for this by ramping up production in different facilities, different gigafactories like Fremont and in China and Shanghai. So they're working very hard to do their best. And I really appreciate the work that they're doing, but there will come times where there are things outside of their control that really end up affecting their results. And there's only so much they can do because of that. So I really want to inform you guys about that. Right now, the lockdowns aren't affecting Shanghai just yet, like I mentioned, but just be prepared for that in case something like that happens. It could actually end up affecting the share price if it were to happen. Now, I also want to talk about this right here, just to remind you guys, look, it's not all bad. You should not just be too concerned about the news, what's going on, the market dropping. We could still be very optimistic, very excited because we have AI Day coming up for Tesla. And this is just a big revelation of how amazing this company is. You have to remember, for the long-term future, we're going to see robots coming from this company. We're going to see them developing an AI, humanoid robots that could be sold, in my opinion. It's going to come very, very soon. Just as Elon Musk stated, we have other technologies coming too. It's amazing. I'm very impressed by what they're doing. And I do believe for the long-term future, this is really going to be very lucrative and really help them improve as the years go on. Elon Musk also liked the tweet. He's very excited about all these things. So just know long-term future is very bright. For the short term, things are still very unpredictable. We don't know what's going to happen in China for the future. We don't know every single detail about supply chain constraints and the economic effects of those as well. We'll just have to remain calm, cool, and collected, be optimistic, and have a game plan to be prepared for anything, whether it's downside or upside. Do what you have to do your own research, and remember, do not chase. You must hunt if you're trading, if you're getting ready for anything like that. Follow your indicators, do what you have to do, and I will most definitely see you guys in the next video. Tesla to the moon, because the long-term future is still absolutely bright, and peace out.